Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in every journey where the night feels too long, the mountain too steep, and the silence too loud. You start to wonder if you're walking alone, if maybe you took a wrong turn, or worse, if you've been forgotten. But I'm here to remind you of one simple truth. God didn't bring you this far to leave you. Every journey we take, every step forward, is a thread in the larger fabric of our lives. When we reflect on where we've come from, the obstacles we've overcome, the heartaches we've endured, the silent battles we've fought, it's easy to question the meaning behind it all. Why did it have to be so hard? Why did the path twist and turn in ways we never expected? But the truth is, there is no growth without resistance. There is no wisdom without struggle, and there is no purpose without process. The journey is not random, it's not meaningless. Everything you've gone through, even the parts you'd rather forget, has been shaping you for something greater than what you can see right now. Think about the moment you were at your lowest, the nights you cried in silence wondering if anyone saw your pain, the days you walked through the world wearing a mask, smiling while carrying a weight no one else could feel. Those moments were not wasted. They were not accidents. They were the foundation upon which your strength was being built. Just because you didn't understand the purpose at the time doesn't mean it wasn't there. Purpose often hides behind pain until we are ready to see it. You see, life rarely hands us clarity in real time. More often, understanding comes in hindsight. It's only when we look back that we realize how certain disappointments redirected us toward better paths, or how closed doors forced us to develop the resilience we would later need. That job you lost, that person who left, that opportunity that slipped through your fingers, it may have felt like defeat, but it was actually divine redirection. It was life clearing the way for something more aligned with your destiny. Purpose doesn't always announce itself with a loud voice. Sometimes it whispers through failure. Sometimes it reveals itself in what doesn't happen. Sometimes the things we thought were setbacks were actually setups, preparation for the person we are becoming. When you begin to see your journey through this lens, you stop resenting the process and start respecting it. Because it's all connected. The late nights, the unanswered prayers, the sudden changes, they were building you. And it's not just about you. Your journey, with all its ups and downs, is equipping you to help others. The pain you've experienced allows you to connect with people on a deeper level. The empathy you've gained, the lessons you've learned, those are tools. Tools you will use to lead, to uplift, to serve. Your journey is not only shaping your character, but it's also preparing your voice, your influence, your legacy. The purpose of your path isn't just survival, it's transformation. You're being molded into someone who can carry the weight of the dreams you've been given. There are moments in life when the silence becomes deafening, when prayers feel unanswered, and when every step forward feels like it's taken in complete darkness. In those moments, the most painful thought that can creep in is the feeling that you are alone, that no one sees you, no one hears you, and no one is coming to help. But that feeling, as overwhelming as it may be, is not the truth. The truth is, even in your most isolated moments, you are not walking this path by yourself. There is a presence that has been with you all along, even when you didn't recognize it. When things fall apart, when plans fail, when people walk away, it's tempting to believe you've been abandoned. But the very fact that you're still here, breathing, standing, even if only barely, is proof that something has been holding you up. You didn't make it through your hardest days on willpower alone. There was a force behind the scenes, a strength greater than your own, giving you just enough to keep moving forward. That presence isn't always loud. It doesn't always announce itself with miracles or signs. Sometimes it's found in the small things, the unexpected peace in a storm, the right words from a stranger, the burst of energy you felt just when you were ready to give up. Being not alone doesn't always mean having someone physically beside you. It means you're being carried in ways you can't see. There's a quiet grace that surrounds you, a divine rhythm at work in the background of your life. You weren't created to be abandoned. The very breath in your lungs is evidence of purpose, and with purpose comes guidance. Life can be chaotic, unpredictable, and painful, but beneath that surface-level chaos, there is order. There is intention. There is support. In your loneliest hours, your spirit still whispers truths that your mind forgets. Those whispers are reminders from something higher, reminders that you are seen, known, and loved, even when it feels otherwise. Every tear you've cried has been noticed. Every silent plea has been heard. You are not fighting your battles alone. You are being protected from things you may never even realize. The doors didn't open not because you were forgotten, but because you were being protected from what was on the other side. The strength to endure what you've endured did not come solely from within. It came through you, yes, but it came from something bigger than you. That strength is evidence that your journey is not yours to walk unaided. You have been lifted when you were too weak to stand, guided when you couldn't see the way, and comforted when no one else was around. It wasn't coincidence that you got back up. It wasn't chance that you found the courage to try again. Something greater than fear has always been with you. It's a natural reaction to pain to assume that something has gone wrong, that you are being punished, that life is against you. When everything seems to be falling apart, when people you trusted walk away, when doors close without explanation, the mind starts to question everything. Your worth, your path, your future. But what if the pain isn't a punishment? What if it's preparation? What if the challenges that feel like they're meant to break you are actually meant to build you into someone capable of carrying more than you ever imagined? Growth doesn't happen in comfort. Character isn't formed during the easy seasons. Strength is not developed when everything goes according to plan. It's in the resistance, the pressure, the friction that something deep within us is awakened. Just as a muscle must tear before it grows stronger, your spirit, your mindset, your endurance are being stretched and shaped through adversity. The discomfort you're feeling is not life punishing you, it's life preparing you for what's next. Thomas John 28:13, one of Stephen's favorite proverbs. Think of any great story of transformation, any meaningful success, any powerful leader. None of those stories are without hardship. Every one of them carries chapters of pain, doubt, and setbacks. Those difficult moments are not meaningless interludes. They teach the lessons that comfort never could. They reveal truths that ease would never uncover. They push you to ask deeper questions, to look inward, to develop patience, humility, and resilience. When life interrupts your plans, when it places you in seasons you didn't ask for, it's not doing so out of cruelty. Sometimes the only way to elevate you is to break you free from what you thought you needed. That job that didn't work out, the relationship that fell apart, the opportunity that slipped through your fingers. What if all of it was part of a refining process? What if letting go of those things was necessary to create space for what's truly meant for you? Preparation is often disguised as loss. We don't always recognize it at the time because it doesn't look like progress. It looks like isolation. It looks like failure. It looks like unanswered prayers. But underneath all of that, something greater is happening. You're being built with patience when things don't move fast enough. You're being equipped with strength when you have to face things alone. You're being sharpened with clarity when the old ways of thinking no longer work. This process may feel heavy and it may feel unfair, but it's not empty. There is meaning in it. There is strategy in your struggle. The pain has a purpose. You are being made into someone who can carry the weight of your calling. Someone who doesn't crumble under pressure. Someone who leads with wisdom because they've lived through what others only imagine. The preparation may be quiet and it may not come with applause, but it is sacred. Faith is easy when everything is going right. When the bills are paid, relationships are smooth, opportunities are flowing, and life is unfolding according to your plans. Believing in something greater feels natural. In those moments, it's simple to say, I trust the process. But the true measure of faith is not in how you act when everything is comfortable. It's revealed in how you respond when everything falls apart. When the storms hit, when the answers don't come, when the future looks uncertain and the present feels unbearable, that's when faith becomes real. It's one thing to talk about belief when the sun is shining, but it's something entirely different to hold on when the clouds roll in and refuse to part. Real faith is forged in darkness. It's not the absence of fear, but the refusal to surrender to it. It's choosing to keep walking even when you can't see the path ahead. It's deciding to show up, give your best, and speak life even when you don't feel hopeful. Faith isn't proven by how loudly you declare it. It's revealed by how consistently you live it when nothing around you confirms it. The storm has a way of stripping everything down to its core. It removes the distractions, the illusions, and the safety nets. It forces you to confront what you really believe, what you really trust in, and where your hope is anchored. In those moments, you're either driven by fear or grounded by faith. And faith, by its very nature, demands that you believe before you see, trust before you understand, and move forward without full certainty. When everything inside of you is screaming to give up, but you still choose to press on, that's faith. When the outcome is unclear, but you still plant seeds, invest energy, and choose hope, that's faith. It's not passive. It's not waiting for the conditions to be perfect. It's an active decision to rise above the noise of doubt and act in alignment with what you believe is possible. The truth is, storms don't come to destroy you. They come to develop you. They reveal your foundation. And if your foundation is faith, faith in something greater than your circumstances, greater than your feelings, greater than your temporary setbacks, then you will not be shaken. You may bend, but you won't break. You may stumble, but you won't stop. Because faith is not rooted in what's happening around you. It's anchored in what's alive within you. Faith doesn't deny the difficulty. It doesn't ignore reality. It acknowledges pain and uncertainty, but still chooses perseverance. It allows you to stand tall in the middle of chaos, not because everything is under control, but because you know you don't walk alone. It reminds you that the journey isn't about being fearless. It's about being faithful. When nothing makes sense, when your strength runs low, and when your heart is heavy, faith gives you the courage to keep showing up. The fact that you are still here, still breathing, still standing, still pushing forward, is not something to overlook. It is evidence of strength that often goes unrecognized because it doesn't always come with applause or obvious signs of victory. But survival in itself is strength. To have endured what you've endured, to have faced days when you didn't know how you would make it and yet kept going, that is a quiet, unshakable kind of power. It may not always feel like strength. In fact, it often feels like exhaustion, like fear, like barely holding it together. But strength is not always loud. Sometimes it's silent persistence. There are times when everything told you to quit, when the pain seemed unbearable, when the path forward disappeared, when support vanished and hope wore thin. But you didn't quit. Maybe you crawled, maybe you cried, maybe you doubted everything, but you kept going. You showed up broken and weary and did what you could with what little you had. That is resilience. That is courage. That is strength that can't be taught. It can only be earned through experience. Survival is a testament to your spirit. It's proof that what's inside you is stronger than what tried to break you. Every trial that could have stopped you became part of the foundation beneath you. The rejection didn't destroy you. The betrayal didn't define you. The loss didn't end your story. You lived through moments that looked like endings, and yet they were just transitions. Just because something hurt you doesn't mean it defeated you. Just because it shook you doesn't mean it broke you. When you truly understand what you've come through, you begin to see yourself differently. You stop waiting for external validation to confirm your worth. You realize that the mere act of continuing, of refusing to be crushed by the weight of life, means you carry a strength that many wouldn't recognize unless they had walked in your shoes. You don't need to look like a warrior to be one. Sometimes the strongest people are the ones who look the most ordinary, who carry their battles privately and keep pressing forward without recognition. Your survival is a story. It speaks of perseverance, of endurance, of unseen battles and quiet victories. It speaks of someone who didn't fold when the pressure rose, who didn't quit when the path got dark, who didn't let fear have the final word. That kind of strength becomes the foundation for everything else in your life. It gives you perspective. It gives you depth. It allows you to connect with others in their pain because you know what it's like to be there. You are not weak because you've struggled. You are strong because you refuse to surrender. You are still here, and that means everything that tried to stop you failed. Your scars are not shame. They're signs that you healed. Your past isn't proof of defeat. It's proof of your survival. There is a reason you're facing what you're facing. You weren't placed in this moment by chance, and the weight you're carrying isn't too heavy for you by mistake. Life has a way of giving us challenges that feel larger than our ability, but that doesn't mean we're not equipped to handle them. In fact, you wouldn't be in this position if you weren't built for it. You have within you everything required to rise to this moment, to endure what needs to be endured, and to grow through what you're going through. The fire you're walking through wasn't sent to destroy you. It was sent to reveal the strength that's already within you. So many people go through life believing they're not enough, not smart enough, strong enough, talented enough, or prepared enough. But that belief is rooted in fear, not in fact. The truth is, you've already made it through battles that were meant to break you. You've already solved problems, navigated pain, and found a way forward in moments where it seemed like there was none. The proof of your ability is not in what's ahead, it's in what you've already survived. If your challenges in front of you aren't just obstacles, they're opportunities to tap into a deeper part of yourself. Every difficulty is an invitation to unlock a strength you may not have known you had. You were designed not just to dream, but to endure. Not just to hope, but to handle. You've been crafted with a capacity for growth, adaptation, and resilience that only emerges under pressure. The very situations that feel overwhelming are often the ones that call forth your greatest power. There is a unique design to your life. You're not just randomly placed into situations. Every moment, every challenge is aligned with your potential. And while you may feel stretched thin or out of your depth, that's not a sign that you're unqualified. It's a sign that you're being expanded. Growth rarely feels comfortable. Being built for something doesn't mean it's easy. It means you have what it takes, even when it doesn't feel like. The process may be painful, but the purpose is present. Even when you question your ability, your strength, or your readiness, you have to remember that what's in you is greater than what's in front of you. The fear may shout, but the truth is quiet and steady. It says you are capable, you are ready, and you are exactly where you need to be. It doesn't matter how long it takes or how uncertain it feels. What matters is that you lean into the moment with the understanding that your life has equipped you for this. You don't have to look outside yourself for the tools. They're already in your hands. Every experience, every failure, every win, every lesson, it's all been preparing you. You were made for this season, this challenge, this calling. You were built to carry what you've been given. You're not in this by accident. So often, people get caught up looking behind them, replaying mistakes, mourning missed chances, reliving past pain. It's human to reflect, to want to understand what went wrong, or to wish things had unfolded differently. But the truth is, what's behind you has already served its purpose. It taught you what you needed to learn. It shaped the person you are today. But it's not where your future lives. The breakthrough you're waiting for, the change you're hoping for, the opportunity you've been preparing for, it's not in your past. It's ahead of you. Sometimes life makes you wait, not because you're being punished, but because something better is being prepared for you. Or maybe you're being prepared for it. Not everything you want right now would serve you in the way you think. Growth takes time. Healing takes time. Alignment takes time. Your journey isn't behind schedule. You're not late. You're becoming. And just because it's hard right now doesn't mean you're off track. Often the greatest breakthroughs come right after the hardest battles. The moment you feel like giving up is often the moment right before things begin to shift. Pain and pressure don't mean failure. They often signal that transformation is near. Something in you is breaking open to make room for something new. There is a future with your name on it. A life that feels aligned with who you truly are. A version of yourself that is more at peace, more fulfilled, more aware of your strength and your purpose. But to reach that version, you can't keep looking backward. You can't live in the past and move into the future at the same time. You have to choose to trust that what lies ahead is worth the effort, the waiting, the perseverance. There's a path that opens only when you walk it. Clarity doesn't always come before the step. It often comes because of the step. You don't need to see the whole picture to take the next move. You only need the courage to believe that progress is possible, that what's coming is greater than what's gone, and that every small act of faith builds towards something bigger. The past was a chapter. It mattered, but it's not the whole story. The next pages haven't been written yet, and you hold the pen. Your breakthrough isn't somewhere back there in what was. It's up ahead, waiting for you to arrive. Keep going, because your future is calling you forward. There is power in the words you speak, especially the ones you speak to yourself. The mind responds to repetition, and over time, what you tell yourself becomes what you believe. That belief becomes your filter for the world, your strength in the storm, and the energy that fuels your next move. When you declare something like, "He didn't bring me this far to leave me," you're not just saying words. You're choosing to align your thoughts with hope, with perseverance, and with purpose. You're making a conscious decision to trust that your journey still has meaning, even when your current circumstances don't make sense. Life has a way of testing your mindset. It pushes you to the edge, brings uncertainty, and challenges everything you thought you knew about yourself. In those moments, it's easy to give in to negative self-talk. It's easy to believe that maybe you're not good enough, not strong enough, or not chosen for anything greater. But that voice of doubt is a liar. And the only way to silence it is to speak something stronger over your life. That's where affirmations come in. They aren't just phrases. They're declarations of truth that you decide to believe even when your feelings haven't caught up yet. Saying, "He didn't bring me this far to leave me," is a reminder that your current battle is not the end of the story. It reframes the pain. It reminds you that progress has already been made, that you've come through too much, learned too much, and endured too much to stop now. Every time you repeat those words, you anchor yourself in faith. You affirm that your story still has direction. You refuse to accept the lie that the struggle means you've been forgotten or abandoned. Declarations like these are especially powerful when spoken in difficult times. When you feel overwhelmed, repeating that truth becomes a lifeline. It pulls you out of despair and places your focus on what's possible. It gives you something to hold on to when nothing else feels stable. Your words become the fuel that keeps your spirit from collapsing under pressure. They become your inner compass, pointing you forward when everything else says stop. There's also a shift that happens when you begin to say these things with conviction. It's not just about hoping anymore, it's about believing. Believing that your path has been guided for a reason. Believing that your setbacks were setups. Believing that if you were meant to quit, you wouldn't have come this far. That belief doesn't eliminate difficulty, but it gives you a new lens through which to face it. It gives you strength that comes from within rather than from what's happening around you. You may not have all the answers, and you may not know how the story ends, but you do have a choice in what you tell yourself along the way. Your voice has power. Your words carry weight. And the more you declare strength, hope, and truth over your life, the more those things will begin to shape your reality.